The X's that appear in the columns would indicate that all of these things that are listed are included in the multi-year assumptions as we move forward. Again, step in column, we're projecting in these documents 1 teacher fewer for each year for the anticipated decline, the health and welfare cap, the increase to the utilities, maintaining the facility. In the 12 and 13-14 years, we have now returned the teachers for budget purposes, not for 12-13, excuse me, but for 13-14 in the first interim report, we had taken away the QIA dollars in anticipation that we would no longer be eligible. Those have now been put back into place. Special ed, we anticipate ongoing increases with influx of students with special needs, and we've eliminated any one-time funding that remained from federal stimulus dollars, the remaining ARA money, the Federal Jobs Act, and things of that nature. Oh, I'm sorry. No, please, excuse me. Okay, this slide illustrates where the second interim report shows us in terms of projected ending fund balance. We began this year with a $3.5 million combined general fund balance. We are slated to receive just over $36 million in revenue. You combine the two of those together and you had just under $40 million available for expenditures. Our expenditures are projected in this report to be $37,652,020, and that should leave us with an ending balance of just shy of $2 million. As you move forward into subsequent years, you take your ending balance from this year, move it forward into next year. Again, revenues are slated to decrease. A big part of that, of course, is the reduction in the funding from the state of California. Your expenditures are holding about the same, and you are expected to end the year with a $3.6 million deficit. And as you move that same information forward, you're looking at a $8.5 million deficit in 13-14. All of this, the second interim report reflects no adjustments that have been made for anything that has not yet been recommended by the school board.
And going to the next page, on page 10, this is the key page. This page shows us the deficit that we will have for the next 2 years, and that is why this evening we're presenting a qualified report. We balance for this current year. We have funds left at the ending of the year. We have our 3% reserve. But we do not balance for 12-13. It shows at the bottom that we're almost $5.6 million out of balance, and 13-14 about $10.4 million out of balance. It went down from, we were projecting at the first interim we will be $6 million out of balance. But after we added our revised assumptions, it lowered that $6 million down to $5.6 million. And going over to the next page, page 11.
This is just to illustrate what will happen, or what is currently projected to happen if the tax initiatives do not pass. At $370 per the projected ADA for next year, we'll lose another $1.5 million. And there was an article released recently where that $370 bumped up all the way to $450. So, and I read an article this morning that the goals that are being done right now on the passage of those initiatives are not showing much favor. You really need to get to your legislators and talk to them about funding schools.
I do have a question.
Magic.
I have a question on page 10.
Okay.
Now the deficits that we're looking at here for 2012 and 13 and 2013 and 14, that's based on the state's budget cuts. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, so this is not due to mishandling of funds. This is based on budget cuts from the state.
Right.
Thank you.
And if you go back to the assumption page, where you saw that we should be getting $6,529, I think it is, for base revenue limit, instead for 12-13, using the $370 trigger, our base revenue limit per student is only $4,814.10. That's it.
Right.
State keeps the rest of it.
Thank you.
Good question. And the final page that we have, where do we go from here? Well, we're going to continue to meet with the Budget Review Advisory Committee. we're going to wait and hear what the governor has proposed. Oh, okay. We're going to wait until the governor presents his May revise and see if there's any good news. It hasn't been in previous years, but you never know. We're going to look at every expenditure. As I indicated in our last first interim report that we presented to the board, a letter was submitted to every site, every department head, administrator, letting them know that we are freezing all expenditures. We will only be paying for those things that are emergencies, health, and safety reasons. Categorical programs, we pretty much let them spend their funds, but there are some categorical programs we have sent their POs back and told them, no, you cannot spend the funds. So we're watching every nickel, every dime, every penny that we have. And if there's any way we can squeeze blood from a turnip, we will do that. I mean, from a dollar. Any questions from the board?
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much.
I do have one
question.
Just one statement. So it's not a question. Both Mr. Ellis and I have been attending the BRAC committee meetings, and the public needs to realize that we are definitely looking at a whole list of areas where we can potentially cut. An awful lot of them are nickel and dimes, like you said, but they all do add up eventually, and the total amount hopefully can get reduced by some of these changes that will be recommended by the BRAC committee to the board a little later on. They're not anywhere near finished with that process yet, and but it is an ongoing process, and I've been impressed with the list of items that have come up on the list.
I would second that also.
Okay, next item. Okay, that's, oh, we have approval? Okay. Is there a motion? Seconded? All in favor?
We did most.
Is there a motion?
No.
Okay, is it motion, but...
Move to approve.
Okay, second by Larry. Did you do that, Larry?
I second.
Oh, you second. Okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Then, okay, it's passed. Declare surplus property.